So I was addicted to alcohol for nearly 10 years, and I tried to quit drinking dozens of times over the course of that period. And I would make it a couple of days, couple of weeks, even made it 6 months one time. But every single time I would try to quit, what happened is my craving and desire for a drink would just skyrocket. Now I know that's called the alcohol deprivation effect, and it would lead me back to drinking again. And if you look at the data, it's estimated that 80% or more of people who quit drinking through an abstinence-based program end up relapsing again within 6 months. So even though I really did want to fix this issue, I wanted to quit drinking, I couldn't, because my brain was essentially hijacked by the addiction. And every time I quit drinking, my desire and motivation for it would increase, and I'd return to drinking again. So I was stuck in this cycle of relapsing, quitting, recovering for a bit, then relapsing again, and just doing that over and over again. Until I learned about the Sinclair Method, which one of the beautiful things about this treatment is it meets you where you're at. You know, when I was addicted to alcohol, the thought of never drinking again was terrifying. And like I said, I tried so many times to quit, and I would be sincere, but the craving would just become insane because of the alcohol deprivation effect. So with this treatment, it allowed me to start it while I was still drinking, which felt very doable and very gentle. And over time, what happened for me through the protocol is that the craving I had for alcohol just started to fade away. I started to have more control. I started to have more alcohol-free days, and I saw myself just essentially lose interest in drinking and fall out of love with alcohol. After about a year on this protocol, I ended up quitting drinking entirely because I simply lost interest in it. I just couldn't be bothered to drink anymore. And this is a stark contrast compared to what it was like to try to quit drinking before this treatment, which was just white-knuckled, forced abstinence, taking it one day at a time, knowing in the back of my mind I was probably going to relapse again. So with this treatment, it's not so much about being able to keep drinking, though that certainly is part of it. You know, not everyone who struggles with alcohol wants to be abstinent forever. They want to enjoy champagne at a wedding, you know, wine on a Friday night kind of thing. What's more powerful about this treatment is that it really fixes the issue of excessive drinking at the root level in the brain, because by following the protocol, you're doing the behavior, you're drinking, but your brain isn't getting the same reward. And that's really what drives the addiction in the first place, is the reward from alcohol. So over time, as someone does the behavior of drinking and they don't get the same level of pleasure, gradually they just find it less interesting, and essentially they unlearn the behavior over time. I hope this answers your question.